The aircraft stopped directly in front of the captain's bridge. Joyful shouts and laughter echoed everywhere. On the nose of the fuselage, a sign read, "Look, Mom, no hook." What might have seemed like a joke was actually part of one of the most incredible chapters in aviation history. The tests in which the transport giant C-130 Hercules landed on an aircraft carrier deck and took off again. It can be said, and it's no exaggeration, that the C-130 Hercules is one of the most popular and widely used transport aircraft in history. Since its first flight in 1954, the Hercules has visited countless locations around the globe and been used for a variety of missions, transporting cargo and personnel to both poles, delivering military supplies to hotspots from Vietnam to Afghanistan, and carrying out countless rescue and humanitarian operations worldwide. In addition to transport missions, the Hercules was used for reconnaissance, aerial gunnery, and even as a bomber in some variants. Among all the achievements of the Hercules and its crews, one episode stands out: an experiment by the U.S. Navy in October 1963, asking the ambitious question, could a four-engine C-130 land on an aircraft carrier deck? The idea seemed fantastic. With a large fuselage and a wingspan of over 40 meters, landing on a limited carrier deck appeared impossible. However, the Navy needed a way to quickly deliver large quantities of cargo directly to ships far from shore. Until then, carrier-based transport duties were performed by the Grumman C-1 Trader, a twin-engine piston aircraft with limited payload and range. If the carrier was patrolling in the middle of the ocean, approaching the shore to resupply was undesirable and reduced mission effectiveness. On paper, the C-130 looked like the perfect candidate: long range, reliability, and substantial payload capacity. For the experiment, the U.S. Marine Corps provided a modified KC-130E tanker. The aircraft's braking system was reinforced, and its external refueling pods were removed. On the deck of the USS Forrestal, all fighter aircraft were cleared away, and a large guideline was painted to help the pilot maintain course. No arresting gear or catapult was used. The experiment aimed for a completely clean landing and takeoff. Given the uncertainty, a contingency plan was prepared. If the aircraft couldn't take off, it would be jettisoned overboard. There was special concern about the airframe's ability to withstand the maximum descent speed. Fears of damage during hard landings loomed. To everyone's surprise, the aircraft performed even better than expected. On October 30, 1963, the first attempt took place. The Hercules descended, touched the deck, gained speed, and took off again. The crew continued with a series of touch-and-go maneuvers, around 30 in total, followed by 21 full-stop landings and 21 successful takeoffs, all without assistance from arresting gear or catapults. Coordination and precision were key. Lieutenant James Flatley, the aircraft commander, and the carrier's landing signal officer worked in perfect sync. The signal officer gave exact commands: throttle idle, engage reverse, and the engine's reverse thrust helped slow the aircraft when less than a meter remained to the deck. The results were remarkable. With minimal load, the KC-130E stopped after a run of just about 81 meters. Even fully loaded, the aircraft required only 227 meters of deck for takeoff and 140 meters for landing. The distance from the aircraft's wingtip to the carrier's bridge was just over 4.5 meters, critical but manageable. The experiment demonstrated a practical potential. Using a C-130, over 11 tons of cargo could be delivered to a carrier patrolling more than 4,000 kilometers from shore. This opened new operational possibilities. However, in everyday practice, landing a C-130 on a carrier deck was deemed too risky. The large aircraft complicated other operations and deck maneuvers. The Navy ultimately decided to use smaller, lighter aircraft for such missions and to develop carrier logistics that did not require landing heavy planes on the deck. Why is this episode still remembered and admired? First, it demonstrated the incredible flexibility and durability of the C-130. An aircraft designed as a tactical transport proved capable of the seemingly impossible. Second, it highlighted exceptional coordination between the crew and the ship's team. Precision, discipline, and risk management achieved a result that entered aviation history. Finally, the image of a massive four-engine Hercules stopping and taking off from a carrier deck became a symbol of engineering ingenuity and practical problem-solving, turning fantasy into reality. Throughout its history, the C-130 has continued to impress and adapt to a wide range of missions: troop and cargo transport, fire support, and reconnaissance. Its long production cycle, over 60 years, makes it the longest continuously produced military aircraft. The 1963 carrier landing experiment remains one of the most striking demonstrations of the aircraft's versatility. Ultimately, the attempt to land a C-130 on an aircraft carrier was less about routine practice and more a demonstration of the capabilities and limits of technology and human skill. A fine line between risk and mastery, where a well-coordinated team could achieve something astonishing. Though the idea never became standard practice, it remains a testament to the fact that with proper preparation, even the most incredible plans can become reality.